Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Here we go, y'all. Happy Tuesday. What's going on? It is the KVJ After the Show podcast. Yeah, baby. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, we were talking about all the additions and things that people have been doing to their house since the pandemic. Talking a little bit about tiki bars. I did kind of notice that, here's how it all timed out. Pandemic hits like early March. You start working on your house, and then it's fixed up just in time for 90-degree heat and 200% humidity.
And hurricane weather.
Yeah, we're all set. Yeah, cool.
I just built a tiki. Oh, shit, a fucking hurricane.
You're outside forcing yourself to try to enjoy it. You're like, it's so hot.
It is so hot out.
It is.
It really is hot.
I got tiki on the brain because me, Denny's, and his wife went over to this house. She was house sitting, and they had a pool, and they had a tiki bar, and it was the tiki bar just makes it so cozy. And you're sitting there after you swim, you get that little kid tired. So I'm all tired, and I'm sitting down, and the shade of the tiki was so nice, and tiki's on the brain, man. So I was wondering how much they were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You were saying $5,000?
Well, somebody, no, I didn't say anything. Somebody had sent an email here that they basically are, I think, about $8 a square foot. One person had texted in, and Malika said that, a 12 by 12 hut cost us $3,300. Virginia's right. It is up in about 5 hours.
It's amazing, I've heard, to watch them work. Like, they come out there and they do not play. Like, they build it and they just put it all together, and these guys are amazing.
12 by 12 tiki hut. How big is that? That's almost 2 basketball. No.
What?
Nothing.
12 feet by 12 feet?
Yeah, that's almost 2 basketball poles. I'm just trying to figure out the size. The basketball pole's 10 feet. So just add a couple feet. I should have never said anything. Should have never spoke.
And you can go fancy with them, too. Like, there's things you can do to make yours more tricked out.
Yeah, I've seen some really cool ones, but yeah, just kind of get it going. It's $3,300, typically $1,500 for the pavers. You got to put that underneath it. So there's different companies. Palm Beach Tiki, somebody said that's who we used. The owners are Seminole Indians, so they don't need a permit to build, and it is hurricane resistant. Highly recommend them.
Yeah, that's what my friend used, the Seminole Indians, and he said it was amazing to watch them, the speed at which they work. He was like, that was entertainment right there. Just like sitting back and watching that was like, holy crap.
So I Googled, and they also have tikis on a budget where you can get one for $80.
Okay,
but
do not buy that one.
Cheapy tiki.
It is broke down. It's a partial dream.
A cheapy hut.
It's just like, yeah, you could get a drink there.
I've heard good things about the Seminole tiki huts and their skill level.
Okay.
If you're going to do a tiki,
Gotta do it, just do it.
don't get an $80 tiki to blow away with the first wind.
Look how low budget that was. Look, Kevin, look how broke down that little tiki is.
Yeah, they can be.
That's not what we're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, so that might be one of the things. Yeah, we're trying to. I think it's going to be a thing. We're going to keep doing some additions or whatever, fixing stuff up, like a lot of people.
I should probably maybe try to buy a house before I try buying a tiki, right?
Yeah, it depends. Maybe you just live in the tiki.
Put your
Who needs a
tiki
house?
on your patio at your rental.
Buy the tiki now so I have to move it for when I move. That'd be real smart.
I don't know if you can move them. They go into ground. I
So-
mean, I'm sure you could pull it out, but ugh.
There are people who have tiki type things in the townhouse area that I'm at, and it makes a difference. It makes it look cooler when you put a little tiki, even in a townhome.
Sure.
It makes it look neat.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that put pop-up tents in the little patios like you have.
And it makes it look cooler.
I don't know. A pop-up tent looks low budget to me.
Yeah, but you're stuck up.
I'm
So there.
sorry. Your $80 pop-up tent looks low budge.
So it's hot outside. You go inside. People are cranking down the AC. And they've had a couple surveys on here about what the great temp is. I thought 72 is what I had seen was the ideal temperature, but maybe it goes lower in South Florida in the summer. I think my wife sets ours at about 70. And according to the survey, they said the ideal thermostat temperature is 69 degrees.
Oh, my. If I put mine at 69, that would freeze me out.
Oh, I'm a 66 man.
You are.
Oh, I love to get really cold and then really, really warm with my blankets.
I see that's a good way to sleep. That having that with a nice warm blanket.
And then you get like a thing in the background, like something noisy, kind of like a waves
Jackhammer.
or thunder,
Goat.
thunderstorms or
yeah.
waves, something peaceful, not goats or jackhammers, dicks.
Those goats that scream like a chick.
Ah! Go to bed at night to that.
Be a challenge.
You just start to
You have
doze
to be really
off.
tired.
Fucking goats lit up.
That is horrifying. Those goats sound terrifying.
They do. They sound like a girl screaming.
They sound like a human being tortured.
That's one survey is trying to claim that 1 in 4 adults have ended a friendship with a roommate over arguments stemming from the thermostat and fighting over the temperature. That seems a little extreme.
Yeah.
That's very extreme. I'll tell you who's a little bitch when it comes to temperature.
Denny's.
Denny's is a little
I knew you were going to
bitch.
call him out.
He'll even admit it. He has to have a shawl or a sweater.
A shawl. Men don't wear shawls.
He's gonna have something every time he comes to my house. I always forget how cold he gets until I look over at him and he's chattering his teeth and he's looking like he's purple. Like, oh baby, let me put that up to 70.
You got to get him a muff.
I do.
Yeah,
we all could use a little muff.
Some more than
right,
others.
amen, huh? None of that in my house.
Muffless.
Yeah. Yeah, I put on a sweater every time I go in and work because it's chilly.
But do you like that feeling of being cold with the warmth?
Yeah, it's a great way to sleep. Yeah, it's much better than being hot. Yeah, being hot is miserable.
Does being hot when you have to when you're forced to sleep hot and get a little sweaty, do you find that makes you hornier?
I don't get horny when I'm freezing.
Not freezing. I said hot. When you are hot and laying in bed and you're forced to kind of be a little sweaty, does that make you feel hornier?
No.
Get more agitated.
More agitated?
Yeah, it's tougher to sleep.
That's because you're probably horny.
No, I don't feel horny.
Okay.
You can't tell him he's horny.
I
He
never
knows
d-
if he's horny.
He's trying to convince me I'm horny.
He's horny, so he wants everybody else to be
He's
horny.
like, no, it's because you're horny. I'm like, no, I feel okay. I'm just, no, you're horny.
Yeah, you
Trust
horny
me.
bastard.
Trust me.
I know it.
Doing a Jedi mind trick.
Misery loves company.
me.
Kevin, you are horny.
I know what's going on there. You're very horny. That's what it is. Yeah.
Let me relieve that
Yeah.
for you. Kevin don't want a blowjob. Stop offering.
Uh-huh. So there you go. Yeah, they say that it's a big thing for fights. Yeah, I think we are 70. What's your set at, Virginia?
I, during the day, am around 74.
Yeah.
And then at night, we go to 70 or 71.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's a whole thing. Because the kids and Panda both want it colder. They all run hot.
Kind of like you.
I actually run cold.
No, I'm saying your personality. You run a little hot.
Cold like my heart.
Got some questions here talking about warming yourself up.
Yeah.
Hot body next to you would do that, Jay Bird. Rose want to know. I remember hearing last week, Jay Bird talking about going on a date this past weekend. If people didn't hear what went on with that, or did that happen, did it not, and why? My question is, did you ever go on the date? And did it go well? That's Rose from Blackwood, New Jersey.
Well, you said you weren't going to go.
Yeah, I did. I addressed a little bit on Friday. I hadn't been feeling well because of my wisdom tooth. I am starting to feel a little better right in time for another outbreak of corona. So I'm up for it, I guess. Not really, but yeah, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, you're in pain, though. You don't want to, like, try to talk to some chick like your tooth hurts.
Completely agreed.
No.
I just wasn't feeling it. I shouldn't have said anything I got caught up in the coin bit. And I was originally going to say, should I buy a new car? That's what I was going to say during that bit. But you kept on going, what's her name? I'm like, oh, am I going to ruin the bit by not saying, oh, fuck it. I'll just say I'm going on a date. Surely I'm not going to have 2 coin flips go against me.
Well, you know how the cards work. The coins don't like any better.
2 coin flips went against me.
It's
and then-
amazing. Animals, cards, and coins hate Jaybird.
Oh, don't say animals. I feel like they've turned around a little bit.
They turned around. 'cause
They turned around and ran
Y'all are dicks.
in fear.
No, there's some animals that really taking a shine to
The
me.
ones that don't run away bite you.
like, "Psst, get away.
At least I like animals, you witch.
Heavy hands. You ever seen of mice and men?
There's too much love in my heart. I can see that. I can see there's
He
too much.
loves too hard.
Maybe that's why I built up walls, dog.
Damn.
I love to.
So, yeah.
Poor Chewy.
He's going to force this therapy session on you, Kevin, whether you like it or not.
yeah. And
I'm
the
open.
audience.
I'm
You're going
open.
to have to help
Yeah.
him.
I'm open anytime. It's taking a look. I always enjoy seeing our life, what it would have been without the pandemic, and what it is going to be as we try to change dates on things, concerts and the such. Is going to be changing. They're still trying to figure that out. A lot of the concerts right now are scheduling about a year out. That's what the Motley Crue tour, they're going to be popping up June of next year. And it looks like the movies are not going to be as long and not as tough to set up. You know, this week we would have had a couple interesting concerts. You would have had Janet Jackson tomorrow at American Airlines Arena without pandemic. And then that K-pop Monsta X tour, if you're into that stuff, that would have been tomorrow at the BB&T Center. And they say that Live Nation is trying to figure out how they're going to do concerts. They're doing the first ever drive-in concert series for July. It's live from the drive-in. It's a set of 9 shows taking place July 10th through the 12th in various cities. They got Brad Paisley headlining shows in all 3 cities, while Darius Rucker and John Party, all country artists, going to be performing in Nashville. And then Nelly's going to perform in St. Louis. You can drive into the parking lots of the amphitheaters, a max of 4 people per car, and they'll have 2 empty parking lot spaces in between each vehicle. So you can watch and party from their designated individual tailgating zones.
Huh.
So that's what Live Nation is trying to do when it comes to the tickets. Interesting. Because I think they're thinking that it is going to be a long time before you sit in a packed amphitheater right elbow to somebody. Don't see that happen anytime soon. Movies is another thing that they've pushed off. That Black Widow movie was going to already be out. It was scheduled for May 1st. It's November 6th.
Oh, wow.
Fast and the Furious 9 was going to be May 22nd. It is now April 2nd of 2021. They bumped that back almost a year.
Yeah, they did.
I can't believe they have 9 of those.
It's crazy. Isn't
And
it?
they do well. They do. I mean, that franchise, the fans they have for that franchise, amazing.
They kill it.
I mean, do you have that many people go to a franchise after 9? That doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
And I know none of us really love those movies.
I think it's still got Vin Diesel in it.
I
mean,
know.
how old is this guy getting? I mean, it's Fast and Furious. I mean, he's slow and gassy. Like,
I don't know, man.
doesn't seem like the right thing for him.
People love those movies.
They do. Yeah. Wonder Woman 1984 was going to be coming out on June 5th. They bumped it to August. Now it's October 2nd of 2020. Top Gun Maverick, that would have been coming out.
June, I thought.
The Tom
right?
Cruise
This
cruise.
week.
We'd be
This
doing the Tom
week.
Cruise
It would have
cruise
been
this
week. Yeah, Tom Cruise cruise would have been this week.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the 26th.
Damn.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise cruise. We had it all set up.
I know. It was really going to happen.
On the Hakuna Matata.
It was legit through work.
Come as your favorite Tom Cruise character from any movie.
We're still going to do it. Right? It was, if the movie comes out and life gets back to somewhat normal,
Well, we'll have to see. The movie's now scheduled for December 23rd.
it'll still be hot in South Florida. It'll be hot. We could still
Be
do it.
hot?
It'll be hot here in South Florida.
Well, it's not going to be hot.
it won't be hot. It'll be
yeah.
good. It'll be good boat weather.
I love a boat ride in December.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love to put on a little sweater and go on a boat.
It'll be chilly.
I still think we can make it work.
If we don't go out of town, shit, Tom Cruise cruise, I think, is fucked.
What date?
The 23rd.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's all up on your Christmas. Yeah, I don't know.
Tom Cruise is no more.
It's a great idea, though.
Oh, shit.
December 23rd of 2020?
Mm-hmm.
It's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Still, though, you have Christmas and all that.
Yeah, that's true. People go to the movies on Christmas Day.
Are people do it? They want to do a. You guys don't want to do a Tom Cruise cruise during the Christmas break, would you?
I don't know.
I don't think you
might
would.
be a tough sell.
No, because I think during the Christmas break, I want to take a break. Like
Yeah,
I want to leave.
I'm supposed to be in Oregon probably.
Okay.
If Corona, yeah, shit, fuck this Corona.
I want to go get drunk somewhere where nobody knows me, so I can act real foolish.
And then the Ghostbusters Afterlife, that was going to be coming out July 10th. They've bumped that back to March 5th of 2021. So,
Is it weak to do a Tom Cruise cruise after the fact, like way after, and still do it?
I can do it anytime.
I mean, it hasn't stopped us from doing weak stuff before.
You're right. And I don't think it'll be weak. I think it'll be a fun celebration.
I think we could do the Tom Cruise cruise whenever the F we wanted.
I agree.
It doesn't have to be around the release of a Tom Cruise movie.
Totally right. Okay.
We can do whatever we want.
I feel good about that.
Mm-hmm.
That lives.
Yesterday, we were talking about the hotel from The Shining, and Emily sent an email and said, yeah, I heard you guys talking about it. It is the Stanley Hotel. It is here in Estes Park, Colorado, and it is super freaky.
Ooh.
My husband and I went on their ghost tour for our anniversary one year. The concert hall apparently is the most haunted area. I swear a ghost grabbed my butt there.
Oh, my.
Mm-hmm. You got to pay extra for that?
Hashtag me too.
Hashtag me boo.
Me too, yeah, right?
That's
right?
great.
Down in the basement, they say a young homeless girl had broken in and was living down there. In the winter, the hotel was vacant, and she froze to death one night.
Oh, my.
In the room, if she likes you, she will close the door to keep you in there with her. When we were on the tour, the whole group was in the room and nothing happened. Once everybody left, my husband and I hung back with a few other people. While we were in there, the door slammed shut. I've never seen my husband move so fast to open the door to see if somebody was messing with us. There was nobody around, and the carpet was lifted there. So for the door to slam, it would have taken a lot of force. It was very creepy. I think Jaybird would love it. The Weird and Whatever podcast should make a trip out here to Colorado for a visit.
Denny's goes to Colorado every holiday.
Yeah, she made note that weed is legal, so Denny's and Bird will be happy. The Stanley Hotel is also where Stephen King got the idea for Pet Sematary, as there is a small, very creepy pet cemetery in the back.
I love it. It's a great email.
And my friend's getting married there in October.
The Stanley? She's getting married at the creepy hotel?
Yeah, and they're staying there for 2 nights.
Oh,
Have you
boy.
guys ever seen the movie Pet Cemetery?
No.
Yeah, I did when it first came
That's a
out.
pretty creepy movie.
I would
Yeah.
never watch that.
You would not respond well to Pet Cemetery. You would, yeah.
I don't want nothing
you
to
would-
do with that.
You would shit yourself.
Remind me to watch it if I'm constipated.
That would be a good one for a horror movie club. Pet Cemetery. That's from the 80s. It's pretty creepy. All right.
Okay.
Good email.
Here was a note about Sons of Anarchy from Carrie. She said that she listened to it after you talking about it. She said, man, it's intense and violent, but so good. I finished all 7 seasons in a few weeks. Jaybird, I can see why you jumped off and didn't want to watch the final season, but I think you should go back and watch it. I didn't necessarily like the way they wrapped things up. However, the writers kind of backed themselves into a corner with some of the plot lines. It was worth watching to have some kind of conclusion to the series. Thanks for all the suggestions and discussions of content to watch to fend off boredom. Next up on my list is Narcos, Breaking Bad, and Ozark. Well, you got some good shows coming up, Carrie. Good stuff.
Yeah, when you haven't watched all that stuff and you know if you have seen it, how much good stuff you're about to watch. Let's just say you have a cozy amount of watching to do.
Oh, the first Narcos was great.
I did like the first Narcos.
That's what got me into the whole drug cartel dramas. I love them. Now I'm in Queen of the South, and I love it even more because it's these 2 bitches that are like running shit. I love it.
That's kind of how I felt about when I first got into The Sopranos. 'Cause I watched it after the fact, and HBO had every one of them on there. And I love shows where they have a bunch of different characters. Like The Sopranos, you get so many different
Layered.
like layered characters in
Yeah.
there that were either quirky or funny. And in some shows, they have characters, I guess, but there's nothing to them. And The Sopranos, just having all that kind of content, knowing you've got 6 or 7 seasons to watch.
It was very well acted.
It
too.
really
They had
was.
great actors on The Sopranos. I mean, it sucked you in, and you believed you were just in it.
I'm trying to think of if I've ever had a series where I was really just looking forward to the next show so much. I think Sopranos is my number one on
that first season especially is fantastic. It gets you in pretty quick. There was a death in Hollywood. Joel Schumacher, the director, he died. He was 80, and he's the one who did The Lost Boys. I watched that movie probably about a year ago, and I still really liked it.
It's a good movie.
I thought it was solid. It's a vampire movie. It's got the whole teenage thing, though.
The worms, Michael. You're eating worms.
I don't remember it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Maybe check it out again.
Okay.
Yeah.
It holds up.
Well, it's not like horror. I mean, it's horror light. It's more just kind of like fun teenage kind of movie.
her
I
soft
watched
ass.
it. I watched it back in the day.
Yeah.
I just remember there was like hot boys in it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's kind
Yeah.
of like Outer Banks if they were vampires.
Yeah, I remember being like, "Oh, these guys are hot, tasty."
It's a good movie. You got Corey Feldman, the Corey twins,
Okay,
Feldman and Haim.
Feldman's not hot, but everybody else.
He was considered the heart. Haim and Feldman in the day were considered heartthrobs. Chicks loved them.
Haim, I'll give you. Feldman, get out of here.
Feldman was
He's
considered.
always been dorky.
Yeah, that same director also did the St. Elmo's Fire movie, Time to Kill, and Phantom of the Opera. So he'd done a couple of big ones.
Time to Kill, great movie. St. Elmo's Fire, cheesy movie, but great.
Okay.
You ever see St. Elmo's Fire?
I never did.
Had the
I
Brat
remember-
Pack in it.
I remember it had a great soundtrack. And I remember John Parr is the guy who did the title track, St. Elmo's Fire.
He had constipation voice.
Yeah, he did. He had that 80s constipation voice.
Good
and
enough.
he had a
You don't see the
thick-
writing on the
yeah,
wall.
thick mullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see there is emotion.
Yeah.
I played the hell out of that soundtrack.
You saw that movie, right?
I don't know.
Gosh, man. I think maybe because I wasn't allowed to go out as a kid, I was just forced to see so many movies. Because I've seen so many more than y'all.
You have.
Could see that. Yeah, I don't know why it was more of an adult movie than wasn't in my interest zone.
We had HBO and Showtime growing up as kids, and we weren't monitored really. So I was watching anything on the fucking cable channel.
Oh, you had free reign.
I had free reign.
Mm-hmm.
Explains a lot.
I was just looking at some of the songs that were on it.
There was another banger on there.
Yeah, I thought there was. I was trying to see what else there was on that soundtrack.
Was there an instrumental that was very popular, the St. Elmo's Fire instrumental?
Maybe the love theme from St. Elmo's Fire?
Yes, they still play that on Sunny.
Oh, okay. All right. There's another song called Young and Innocent.
I think because they were all young and
Yeah, but now today, maybe in the 80s. I don't know if anybody needs to be making a song Young and Innocent
Well,
now.
Rob Lowe had that scandal where he was involved with people who were young and innocent.
Young and Innocent, yeah.
Did he write that song?
You played saxophone in the movie. I don't know if it was fake or not.
Yeah, fake sax.
That's a good piece of trivia.
That nobody gives a shit about.
Does he really know how to blow a sax?
The scandal happened pretty quick after that movie.
Mm-hmm. Let me see here. Got a comment from Laura, and I did not hear this connection. I did hear some commentary about this. She said the U.S. Southern District Attorney was fired. Southern District Attorney, I think of New York, was fired. And I paid attention first because that is the role I think that they have in Billions. Trying to think of the name of the guy. He's he's a great actor. He's been in Sideways and a whole bunch of other ones. He's highly respected.
Not Paul Giamatti.
It is Paul Giamatti.
Okay.
I think he plays the U.S. Southern District Attorney,
He's a great actor.
or at least was.
He
originally,
does.
yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, so I noticed when this whole thing happened, it quickly spun into one of those political stories that is out there. But the side note on it, aside from the political stuff and the tie-in with the president on this, is Laura said he was the prime person pursuing the people surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein matter. More conspiracy.
He got fired?
Yeah, Trump booted the guy out. And I had only heard it's like, oh, because he's investigating his people. I didn't hear anything about the Jeffrey Epstein thing. So, yeah, people were going to maybe tie that into more about the cover-up of...
How many other things was he investigating? I mean, it could be like hundreds of people.
Well, the only thing I had heard was it was Trump's personal attorneys that this guy had been going after, and who knows why he was, jettisoned out. Like I said, it's a political fight that people would love to scream about, but... So I didn't hear the Jeffrey Epstein angle that guy was associated with that. But, the conspiracy, big, who knows?
Who does know?
Yeah.
And is Epstein even dead? That was a new wrinkle we just got.
Yeah, I don't know. It's by the time, that's the thing about these. The Jeffrey Epstein story is turning into one of those urban legends. And by the time it's over, who knows what they're going to be saying. Is he's secretly living somewhere running a puppet government or something?
Or they found his body. He had a devil's tail. All kind of rumors.
Who knows?
I mean, he could go to that island.
Devil's Island?
No, the island he owns.
Pedophile Island.
Pedophile Island.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go there and just like...
I would think somebody would be keeping an eye on that, but...
They should.
Yeah.
Well, if we know about it and we're talking about it,
It's in the Filthy Dirty Rich or whatever it's called.
Filthy Rich, Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich on Netflix. Jack has got an idea for tomorrow's World Record Wednesday.
okay, Jack.
He said a week Record Wednesday suggestion. Try stacking donuts. The record is 12 done in 60 seconds. A bird can try it blindfolded, which the record is 7 in 60 seconds, held by Katie Nolan. She works for ESPN. Kevin should know who she is. Yeah, she is. I see her on ESPN a good bit. She's also, oddly enough, dating Mafi from Billions on Showtime. He's one of the sideline characters. And in real life, this Katie Nolan's dating that
Stacking donuts, that's just your party.
Do you guys like it or do not like it?
You could get Dunkin' to sponsor it and supply the donuts for free.
Do you like it or do not like it? Is that what you're saying?
I was trying to say it. It doesn't work.
Do not like it?
Do not like it?
It's tough to do, yeah.
I tried to brush over the bad joke.
Do not. Do not talk to me like that. Do you like that, though?
Yeah, that could work.
Or is that weak as fuck to listen to?
No, I think to me it's all this
That
stuff.
hasn't stopped us in weeks
I think
past.
they're fun because they are weak. It's just stupid stuff that you would do on a moment's notice. Just be
Okay.
like, I think right now, like I said, the bar is set low. We're just looking for anything to entertain ourselves during this quarantine.
Okay, donuts tomorrow? I love it.
Well, the thing I think are fun is a lot of people are sending us their videos of them trying it. So it's all stuff that you could just grab a box of cereal or donuts and try it yourself and try to be Jaybird's mark. And that's what people are doing. They're sending us their own videos, be like going, I totally blew away Jaybird's record. So you're setting kind of a loser standard for everybody else that they want to try to beat the bird.
So not only do I fail publicly, we have people now sending in
how they're better than you.
taunting me how terrible I am.
How terrible you are.
I love this bit.
Yeah, and how much better they are.
You got to get basic glazed from Dunkin'.
I'm hearing you out.
Basic glaze, because if you try to go all fancy, they'll throw off the base and the equilibrium of the donut.
So I hear what you're saying, but wouldn't a better one would be just one of those dry donuts with no glaze?
Just a cake?
Just a cake style donut? Wouldn't that be
figure out what it is, because there might be the world record might say something about the style of donut, because I think a sticky donut, a glazed, would favor you because it's going to stick, give you a little bit more foundation.
Sticky.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat that glaze.
You like it sticky.
Oh, I like it real sticky.
Yeah. And a donut with icing, kind of the same thing. And it's probably going to be a certain kind, because if you did a Long John, maybe that's easier than a regular round donut.
A bear claw would stack nice.
Oh, I haven't had a bear claw in so long.
I know.
I want it real sticky.
Sticky.
You may not make it through this thing without busting that diet.
or a nut.
Oh.
You cannot fuck the donuts till we're done. Don't make your own Bavarian cream.
Yeah, so that could be fun to try tomorrow. Easy.
I
fun,
love it.
donut.
Donuts. Okay.
Yep. Let me see. Got an email from Eric. Really good point. He was just kind of, hit me up on something to discuss. I'd had those 2 conversations, the South Florida United. You can go see those. They're up on our website, kvjshow.com. They're on the Facebook page, but easier to find if you go to kvjshow.com. There's a tab right at the top of the page that says South Florida United. You can go there and see all those. And all those suggestions, too, if you did want to start watching a lot of stuff that I had watched, articles I had read, podcasts I'd listened to, and the such. And he had hit me up before, talking about some of the stats that are out there. And there are some other things. I didn't have a plan as of right now to do another one. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. Basically, my whole concept was to educate and activate. And so, we post a lot of the stuff that you can do to learn. And then the activate part is we're talking about putting together maybe quarterly, whenever we can meet, where you can go and see people that don't look like you and have conversations, and then, make a connection and start, continuing the conversation, hopefully get maybe in a different kind of friend group. And then the other thing was volunteer opportunities with groups that are working to help the situation.
I love it. All that is so awesome.
Yeah, and even in the 2 conversations I had, it is such a deep issue. I keep watching and learning and studying and reading and trying to understand more. And I'm a guy that already loved history before and knew some of the stuff, but I'm digging into an area that I had never even dug before with some of this information. And so, he was hitting me up, and what he had said was, my thought is the problem facing the black community is the very high levels of poverty, which inherently results in higher rates of violent crime. These crime rates raise the level of police encounters, and higher levels of violent police encounters raises the chances of police shootings. I agree that brutality is a growing problem with today's police force, but that's not specific to the black community. And I think he really is like a little frustrated. He wants me to take on this topic, and it is, like I said, you will go down a long rabbit hole getting into that stuff. But
he's not wrong.
No,
poverty is a big problem.
It is, boy, it goes, and so that might be an additional conversation that we have, because it really, when you talk about the system, and it is crazy that it does go back to right after the Civil Wars, where we are today because of what happened in 1865. And so there is a long conversation on that would bore 98% of our audience. So, yeah, maybe I'll fire up and get a panel together and do a 3rd show to dig in specifically on that.
I love the idea, though, of post-corona being able to get people together and start a new friend group of people that don't look like you, and just say, hey, how can I help? Be it through a charitable donation or volunteering your time or just maybe mentoring.
Yeah.
What can I do? How can I help? Just in a small little tiny scale. Yeah, you're not going to fix racism, but you can do little things that are going to help and make you feel great and make the people you help feel great. And then you can just take a little joy out of that.
And I don't want people to underestimate how powerful it is for them just to have a better understanding. Because if you kind of pass that on and say, okay, I kind of did a little bit of deeper digging, and I have a better understanding of this. If every person in America just did that right now, boom, guess what? I mean, light years to getting these situations fixed. Yeah, so it is actually a big thing. You don't have to do a lot to be a major part of the solution of what is going on.
And you can teach your children so that the next generation doesn't have the same hatred.
Yep, so maybe we'll do that, because it is a much deeper issue, Eric. I do agree with you, and we'll see when the timing feels right. Then maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll reach out to some of the crew that I had on. I have a couple more people I want to talk to as well.
Teach the children well. Don't you like that song?
I do.
Okay. He said teach the children.
Zach from Green Acres sent a really, really nice email. I want to say thank you so much. Loved everything you said. He had nice things to say about everybody on the show and what we all contribute. He said, Denny's, you called me out twice for being high. You're a great person. I have always wanted to be mesmerized by your shrimp family. So I really miss stories from a stoner. I believe we have those too posted someplace where you can go and check all those out. If it's not, I think we have our crew. Suits is working on getting those videos together, and that will be up on our website at kvjshow.com, where you can go and just go from one story from a stoner to the other.
And perhaps if we give Denny's a little time, maybe he might have some new ones possibly.
That's true.
Maybe he'll make some this weekend.
I mean, I think there's a new one per week.
That's the goal.
So anyway, thank you very much to Zach from Green Acres. Appreciate that nice email. If you guys have anything you want to interject, you always can. Mail at kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com. Thank y'all for being here. We're back tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.